You can hear me? Like my the banging in the background? You make the volume really high on YouTube?
Probably. I don't know. No idea what I'm doing as per usual.
Yeah, perfect volume.
Cool, cool. 1 minute early today.
Oh yeah. I have nothing better to do. Ooh. Look who's here.
Hi there.
Hey Paul.
Oh, it's a very jittery Emma. Hello.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Is everyone coming in? Oh, I better hide that open Easter egg box and make the Amazon smile.
Still got Easter egg chocolate, then you're a legend.
It's empty. I finished it yesterday.
Still good going.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Shall I start sharing my screen?
Go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Sure can.
So as usual, a really good README file there. Let's give some context to what we're doing then. PSW. So I can't think of a good domain name for it yet, so I just stuck it on subdomain of my site. I suppose for anybody watching this and not seen it before, it's a new tool that I made to help give you the script for when installing UmbraCo. Well, like UmbraCo 9 or 10 or all the ones coming up. And the idea is that because I wanted to test out a load of packages basically and wanted to do it easy, so you can search for things like, you can search for a package author or the name of the package, like that, and you can tick it, and then you can also tab as well. So I wanted to make sure that I could tab through them and check them if I was too lazy to use the mouse. And then the idea is you just generate the script, and with the defaults that are set up in the options, it gives you this script that you can then either do that, or you can just see that there's a copy of script button and do it, and that will then install UmbraCo. So if I quickly go to code demo, a new folder, blah de blah de blah, doesn't matter, and then open up a terminal. So command prompt or whatever you want to call it. This is using Windows Terminal with PowerShell inside it. If I just paste that in, it's just made it really easy to install UmbraCo there. So it's doing it with the default UmbraCo starter kit and that examine content app. And here's where you can edit the options of what you want to do. So the whole point of this site is to generate this, and these are the things that help shape that. So I can say, I do want to install UmbraCo, but I don't need a starter kit, and I don't want a solution file, and I don't need to specify the project name. Oh no, I will. My project. We'll just, and this is just filler, by the way, while we wait for this. And then, yeah, so if we do generate script again, it's a different script now, based on those options. It's just simplified it a bit there. So all it's going to do is install UmbraCo, and it's using the unattended install, but you don't have to, so you can do that. Now it's just going to do a new UmbraCo project, and it's going to add that examine content app, but I don't want to include that, so clear packages, generate script again, and now it's just simple. There you go. So .NET New UmbraCo, call it my project, and then run the project. So again, it's all so you can just copy that script and paste it into your command prompt. So that's the whole idea of the project. here it is. This is the website it just did for you. So with the unattended install and with the ability to generate the scripts for whatever you want, you get to just do it really easily. So you might want to start again and you might want to test out UmbraCo 10. So you can pick the version of UmbraCo you want to use. So let's do UmbraCo 10. You might want to try out SQLite, which here it says is UmbraCo 10 only. And then you can say, oh, I would like to include a starter kit. Let's do the portfolio one. And I'm not bothered about a solution file. I'll use the unattended install generate script, and there you go. So this will be it. This is just for Windows, I think, or PowerShell, this part, but apparently you can make it. One of the pull request ideas was to make this cross-platform, so that could work in Mac and Linux and things. So we could look at doing that. But that brings us on to the point that we're going to make this whole thing open source.
Very
That's
nice.
what we're doing today, and also want to make it so that we can, when you change these options, it automatically updates this output. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. This is the site that it built, by the way, so we can UmbraCo. I don't need to prove it, but yeah, that's the UmbraCo 9 site that it created for us. So first thing,
I've been using it since you've made it. What did you only release it last week? I've been using it constantly.
have you? Oh, cool.
Yeah, I do a lot of testing.
Yeah, I just released it on Thursday last week.
Yeah,
I was going to keep it secret till my code garden talk, just so I had some extra content for him. Oh well, thought people would benefit from it. Yeah, and there's a little explainer video if you're not sure how to use it. There's that. Let's first of all let's make the project open source. So I don't know if anyone's ever ran a GitHub project before. I know a lot of people on here have, but you might not have. So you go into the set. So first of all, I created it as a private one, but now I want to change the visibility to make it public. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to
remove all your secrets from there.
I don't have any secrets. It's just
That's what. Yeah. Are you sure?
well, we can check
No.
because it's a good point though, isn't it? But we can look, as this is not an UmbraCo site. It started off as one. But I struggled to deploy it. It was an UmbraCo 10 site, but I couldn't get it to run. So I just, as it was .NET 6 MVC, UmbraCo 10 is anyway, I just was able to strip it away and just put it into an MV6 10 .NET 6 MVC site. Yeah. So in terms of secrets, let's just have a look at the app settings. This is where we would look to make sure that I'm not giving anything away. Nothing in there. Nothing in there.
Yeah.
And I do have a published profile on here. Oh, where's it gone? Can't remember where they are. But I do or did have a published profile, but I never pushed the .user file up.
CSproj file, Paul, anything in there that you might not want public? CSproj?
Yeah.
Passed it.
Did I?
Yeah. And possibly the solution as well.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
So it's quite basic, simple site. Nothing really to it.
I imagine that you would. Are you plugging into NuGet at all? Yeah, but their API doesn't require keys at the moment.
Yeah,
okay, that's
it
good.
doesn't require keys or anything. So it's rather
Perfect.
simple. I need to add there should be a quick. I think there's a quick way to add a license as well, isn't there?
Yeah, and settings.
Let's
and
do
then,
that.
Community or something. What's it called these days? It's up in the left menu somewhere.
Code security, is it grouped by now?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Down one, couple there. Code security. Nope.
No, I don't think so. Oh, it's an insight, isn't it, at the top? Top horizontal menu.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Community. No, you need to be
I
pro.
need to make it public. Let's make it public.
You need to make it public first, okay.
So go down here, change visibility, And as soon as I make it public, I have to change the branch permissions.
Mm.
The people can't just overwrite. Oh, I've just made it private. It's already private. Right, to make it public, paste that in. Confirm my password, do the 2FA. No need for 2FA, some reason. Right, that's done. Now branches. So first thing to do is add a rule and require pull requests and require approvals. I think that's it. That's the only one I need to do. And I just put the name in. And then I can create that rule. So now if anyone wants to merge into main, they have to create a pull request and it has to be approved first.
Yeah. As long as they're not in your organization, they can't do anything anyway. So you don't need a rule unless there's people in your organization that you need.
Oh, okay. So we'll go to community, contribution activity. Where's the license thing?
Or contributors maybe. There's one of those. There.
Oh,
There,
here we go.
underneath it.
And
Add a license, and we just want to pick MIT.
and
Review and submit. Yeah. Nice. Commit new file directly.
oh, you need a pull request now. Except if you're the owner, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's in. I've now made that public, so if anyone's watching, they can go straight to that and poke around the code. I've got the code running here on my Visual Studio. So, oh, this was me rewriting the Java. Oh, I had it in jQuery and I changed it over to JavaScript because it's using Bootstrap 4.6, which does use jQuery. I'm probably going to change it to Bootstrap 5, but it's not that important. It's just a one-pager. But yeah, so I've changed most of it back over to. If I see jQuery, I'll just use jQuery, but I've changed it over to use JavaScript now. So the point of this is to make it Ajaxified. So in preparation for doing that, the other day I did create an API controller. So we can go to Postman and we can hit that API endpoint. And in the folder, I don't know if anyone saw, I did have some API requests, I think, there. Just some bodies to practice to. So we can put this in the API thing. So if we go to Postman, close that, close that. Right, anyway, headers, body, there we go. Send that. Couldn't get a response. I've not got a site running.
Nope.
Run that. Good thing about this as well is it .NET MVC.NET 6 site and C# 10 and Visual Studio 2022. I get the hot reload. Right, the site's running, so we can hit this. And there it is. So I told it that I wanted to install usync and usync complete and the unattended install and everything like that. So it's actually returning back the text that would then go into the output part. Yep. The output being the script. So part way there. So I thought it'd be good to write the. So I think if we've got the API endpoint and we know what the shape of the body needs to look like, then really we just need to write the JavaScript to hook into the event of changing something and then get that to do that. Now one other thing we need to do, and one of the main features of this, is that when you generate script, it returns you back to the URL with the query string so that you can use this for later, or you can share it. So one other thing we need to do is if we get it working with Ajax to actually update this, we also want it to update the query string as well. So can we do something?
You're doing in JavaScript already, or?
So no, this just posts back every time.
Oh, okay.
So it just reads all the form values and then it posts it back. Generate script, and there they are. So let's have a look where to start. I suppose we could start with having a look at the JavaScript file. So someone showed me their way of writing JavaScript one day and I quite liked it. So if I'm trying to do something that I care about, I do it in this format. I don't know what anyone else thinks about it. I think styles have changed over time. But basically I've got a set of controls that I can easily get to. Buttons, I've got my initialize, which just adds my listeners. And then I've got things like key up and change events to listen for. And then I've got the actual functions to run. So I suppose we could do one on changing of something. What should we do it on? A change of, maybe change when one of these gets clicked. We could get it to update that. So I think I've got event listeners for toggle those. So where would it be for each? Package checkboxes, there we are. So whenever they change, we want to update the output. So we need let's have a update output function. I don't think that's got an event on it. Don't need to care about that event. Right, so we want to update the output. What's the latest in JavaScript? Is it fetch? Is that the API we need to use to do a job?
Nice.
If you're using pure vanilla JavaScript, then yeah, fetch is a good way to go.
Right, so Brad Traversy is a good YouTuber, and I found this example, and he's got fetch. So maybe we could use something like this.
Yep, looks good.
Yeah. I'm not sure about adding the body yet on this though. So maybe you could help me with that. So
what is your API call? Is it a get or a post?
It's a post.
Okay, so fetch by default is a get.
Okay.
I'll see if I can remember.
Give it a method.
I just
did it. It's just an extra parameter, isn't it?
Did you say something, Dane? Okay.
Right, let's just put this in and we'll just hard code a few things to start with. So what was, did anyone find what the method was that we need to, how we pass the body in?
Yeah, so I'm doing it a bit differently. In the voice chat notes.
Yeah.
But this looks good as well. Await fetch method post. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
Right. Okay then. So await fetch. So with the await.
This whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, so there's a method property. There's an object is all the options next to fetch. So you can specify a method as a post, and then you can specify another property on the object of options as body, and then So you won't need all of that. You won't need like the cache-in header and the credentials and the headers most likely. So
okay, yeah.
That's right.
Let's just paste that in there and delete what we don't want. So we don't want the cache, credentials.
You might want the header depending on how picky your web API is.
Headers, is that?
You setting it?
We've
Yeah,
got
you are.
Here already.
Yeah, but that's nothing interesting in there.
No, but you're setting the content type application JSON. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the response.
Oh, that's the response. So only content type JSON.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But you're actually getting text back, so I don't think you need to request JSON, do you?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Or maybe otherwise it will turn into XML, so maybe this is fine.
Yeah.
Try this out.
Okay, so we've got and where's the object? Oh, is it data? So where's data defined?
Well, data is whatever object you're gonna pass or send. So you're gonna have to build up a JSON object of all your form field inputs. I'm assuming. I assume you send every time you call that API, you send all the values, and not just.
We can. So the way I've done it, we can send an empty body. And that returns the default.
Okay.
So let's see if we can.
So if it's incremental, then you can just obviously add your, I don't know, I'm assuming it's an array of IDs or integers or something that is letting you know which packages you've selected.
This is the exact data that he puts in, right? The one you have in your notepad. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you can
this
send
is fine.
that.
Checked. Yep. And then I'll just copy that. So that would be UmbraCo template version dot value. That will be packages.
So this is just your JavaScript references to form elements on the page.
Yeah. So I've defined those controls at the top there, so it's easy to get to.
Makes sense.
Project name dot value. Oh, database type spelt wrong. This is the boring bit then.
Value. There you go. You got database type twice. That's probably because it didn't work. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, that's probably why I did it. Use unattended install. Oops. What am I doing?
There we go.
Dot use unattended install. Dot checked. Use a password. Sorry if this is agony to watch.
That's double controls.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
thank you.
I've gone crazy. And that's dot value.
Will your API be fine with empty strings as opposed to nulls? Just looking at that, because obviously the input field will send an empty string as opposed to a null.
So I did.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
This the other day. Let's try. Yep, and then I could do database type. Let's just try that to be SQLite. Something it doesn't like, but we'll see. Controls on UmbraCo versions. What's that? Don't know what that property is. I'll do with dot value. Oh, that is the drop down.
Single version.
Is it a symbol?
Oh, okay.
Is that?
You don't need that here.
Yeah, maybe that is called that. And then user friendly name. We're nearly there. Oh, yeah. PSW dot controls. User friendly name dot value. PSW dot include starter kit dot dot controls. Dot checked. And finally, starter kit package. Right, does that look right? Have we made any mistakes?
Yeah, seems all alright for a quick glance.
Yep. Just bring that down one, just so it's in the same order as the other thing. Right, so that is the data. This is going to then stringify the data.
Yeah, that's good.
And then
do you want to update the text box? So if you've got a reference to that control of the code, then you can update that box of the value that's come back from.
Yeah.
Because at the minute that method's just returning
the
response.
Is there a then? Did we do a then?
It depends. I think the samples
Oh,
from then is if
for this one, if you scroll up a little bit, it has a function, an async function post data, and that's when you can do the then afterwards. So you can still do it in 9. So instead of semicolon return response, you do dot then instead of the return there.
Oh, okay.
I think you could.
So
I think then here, yeah. And then this is the success, and then the next then is fail, I guess.
And do I? All right, I do the lambda for the data.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's that?
Curly's after that.
I like that.
I think so.
Right, so what we're doing with that, we're going to just set the controls, so psw.controls dot code block. Is it called code block, or what was that code block output?
Yeah.
Oh, copy code block, yeah. Dot value equals. And then it's going to equal data, is it? It's just string, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bets, please. Is it going to work? I don't think it'll work.
Put a console log as always.
Remove the return.
We need to call it, don't we, on the listeners?
Yeah.
Just bear with me a sec.
All right.
Alright, I'll just save this and then I'll go and I've just got to grab my son. My wife's got a bad back at the moment, she can't pick him up. So, right, I've saved. Oh, yeah, so let me just hook into the event. Which one was it? It was the change of the package list, wasn't it? Package checkbox. There's update the packages and then psw dot update output. I think that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, that should work.
Yeah.
At the end, you have a return. Maybe you want to remove that.
Oh yeah, it's just
response.json. That's all the way at the end.
Response.json.
Yeah. And maybe do a console log on the data you get back. Just
inside that then, just to be sure.
Line 205 is 206. Is the UmbraCo version supposed to start with a capital U compared to the other ones?
There, no, thank you. Right.
And I think the data that you're going to get back is not the actual raw data. It'll be data, and then there'll be other properties like the headers and other stuff. So hence, it'd be good to.
Would it be like data.data or something?
Something like that off the top of my head. I think it's you get the whole response object back.
All right, so it's already failing. We already have an issue.
Well, when you've done the copy block part, there were 2 options there, and I think you said you were going to add the second one, but chose the first.
What was that? Sorry.
On the copy block, on the block line, back in your.
On the code block there.
Yeah, you had two options. You had copy code block and code block, I think. It was.
Just a sec. I'll leave it on the code. I'm just gonna have to go and help my wife. Wait there.
Yeah. No worries.
Dean, I think the copy code block is a reference to that button that is to copy the code inside that code block.
Yeah. I think what I tried this the other day, and I think what we need to do here is move this into a async function, because the await is there, and it doesn't like a non-async function. I think. You can just do it without await.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could probably drop the await. I don't see the necessary.
Not super comfortable with fetch yet, but I like it. Fetch URL then response. Yeah, it should be fine without the await.
Does anyone know how Paul set up all the value pairs in the first place?
He's just doing, I think at the top of his file, he was doing like document.getElement by ID and then whatever he's given that form control on in his HTML.
So
and then,
each of the packages has got its own form that has to be completed.
No, it looked like he had some code that was adding event listeners. So every, I don't know, he's obviously got some server-side code to render out all those packages, and I assume there's some unique key or value for each of those packages. So when you're doing a checkbox, it's updating some other field or property.
So I was thinking all of the options within each package, how he's going to grab those when some packages got a bunch of options. For another day.
I have been thinking about adding like the package version. You know, the drop down, having a drop down next to the package, so you can specify the package version if you want to, like pre-release or previous version. That might be good. Right. So what do we get?
A few problems in your response thing. I just posted a link in the voice notes, which has slightly different notation.
Cool.
So I think for now we can remove the await, and then we can fetch URL dot then.
Yeah.
Then that's a bit more.
And what about the body on this?
That's
that was all the
where return
options.
response JSON is. Yeah.
Right.
So like the first promise of the then is then checking if the response was okay, and then the next promise is then taking that data and then turning it into a JSON string. So like in that example, it's then checking, is the response 200? If it is, then pass the JSON down to the next then it's then...
Oh, I see, yeah.
So you could chain it in the same way if you wanted.
Yeah.
So... Alright, I'm not seeing it. Tell me where...
Whatever you just selected, copy it and put it above line 213 and you can tweak it.
So do I do it with the
on
URL?
Stack Overflow, just take this one.
Yep.
Plus the fetch line, copy it above what you have already, and then we can tweak it.
And then put it in here, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So the first one, the first then, you're going to want to change the, I don't know, to the variable name to be response in a similar fashion. So further down on line 226, where you do then data, you want to change it to then response, and then you want to check if the response is an okay.
Hang on, we have a problem here. We don't have headers in this one.
That was in the object as the second parameter. So when you call fetch, and in the first example it's just fetch URL, it would be all the object parameters. Yeah, but no.
That's not how the Stack Overflow post looks.
It's because it's not passing any properties.
It didn't have any properties on the
It was
Stack
just
Overflow.
it was just doing a get.
Oh, actually, this is good. Yeah.
So then
this is good.
Then you need another then chained, so that in this final then that you get the data.
So do I...
More copy paste, I would say.
Okay.
And then you can either do the same with the catch as well if it fails to pass anything.
Do something with this. What's in the catch? Error.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So console login there. And then in here we want to do our setting of that, do we? Or
yeah,
exactly.
And just log the data in maybe each of the promises. So in the first one, make sure that the response is okay, just in case we need to change anything.
So what happens in the then response?
So then response, and then so the return of that promise is grabbing the data and then it's passing it down to the next promise. Otherwise, if you only had one promise, you then have to chain into checking that the response is okay on response.data.
Okay. Yeah. So the only thing that's wrong here then is that we're passing the response as JSON and it's not.
Yeah, that's where we might get caught out. So we'll see.
Text. Yeah.
You could make that a relative URL because the script is running on the same page as the. I'm assuming the script's running on the same page as the everything else.
Let's try it like that first. And
then
we'll...
Yeah, get it running.
Yep. Cool. Right. So shall we hot reload it? Let's see if it's valid JavaScript to start with. Looks promising.
Yeah.
Right, so let's clear all packages. That would be good to update that as well, wouldn't it? And then generate.
Yep.
Right. I probably should have started with that one. Never mind.
It's alright.
So take that. Oh, it's liking it.
It hasn't thrown an error.
Right, so it's not done it, but
no.
Right, what's happened?
Cannot read properties.
Okay. Refuse to.
Yeah, this is the hot reload stuff. I can ignore that.
Oh, line 206 it looks like, or line 54 depends.
So what is UmbraCollab versions? Is that a drop down?
Yeah.
So it's not. Is it not value? So what is it? It's an option.
It's template version anyway. Not even the right one. It's UmbraCollab template version. So that is. I'm just going to make that the same. Yeah, we'll try that. Oh, we've got something.
Well, you're getting stuff. Yeah, so unexpected token. So yeah, you need to not parse it as JSON, but as text.
It's a readable stream.
So response.
So it's okay. Maybe we just do .body.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So on that one where we throw it back up the JSON, we just throw the body.
And the non-JSON response by
Yeah.
And shall we log that as well?
That's response.text, not body.
Is it?
Yeah. And then
Right on.
yeah, exactly. What do you call these?
Open and close parentheses.
Parentheses.
Right, let's see. No. Failed to execute text on response body stream already read.
interesting.
Oh, so what is it on the?
Stop text, then. Oh, return response. Oh, this is an interesting notation. Might not be what we're looking for.
Oh, so it's there. It's the result. Do we need to await it? Do we need to do that?
Oh, cool. So this example here says fetch request and return response text, then do the thing.
Then function text.
So you might,
Is that not what we were doing?
Yeah, by returning it. Oh yeah, you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Data.
Is it because we specified JSON? Did you see it was there? Look, it's there.
Can you see the network? Can you see the network request in Chrome just to see if it is generally happy on where it returned?
Yeah.
So it's calling your API. Oh, just don't open it. Okay, response tab out of the right hand side. So
Yeah, that's perfect.
is that what you expect it to be? Or
Yeah.
Cool. So then it's just the JavaScript in terms of in the promises.
We're very close. What is it?
Yeah. So go back to the console and have a look. See what we
Console. So
to execute text on response. Body stream already read, so it's because it's synchronous, probably. Maybe we can add the await back.
right. Okay. So how was the await used? So this was await fetch. So it just did that. Right. So const response equals.
Yeah.
Oh, would it be?
Then return response dot text instead of that could work.
I think just doing a quick Stack Overflow, it's because you're reading it into console log and then returning it. So like you're calling it twice. So you either have to assign it to a variable if you want to do that.
Got it. That's cool.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
So you can only call it once.
Quantum coding. Right,
I think you'll be alright there, yeah.
Yeah, should be fine there.
No.
Okay, back to the console.
But it printed it out though, so what? So
just didn't update the div. That's all.
Does it not update your DOM element? So what is code block? Is that a div? Is that a text input? Is that a text area? Like what's the?
So it's a it's in HTML, isn't it?
So you're gonna have to set the HTML.
Oh, so close.
So yeah, that line. Yeah.
There we go.
Is it in a text?
You you can either or.
Try it out.
I don't know why I'm hitting hot reload and then I'm also doing refresh.
Browser, so it shouldn't.
Oh, nervous. Alright, come on. Yay! It just needs to,
so have you got some
prettify? I just need the prettify to run now. Which let me just have a look. Where? I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
You must initialize it somewhere.
I don't think I do, but we can just Google that. But has that done it? It has done it.
It's
hasn't
updated the text, but you just need to also rerun that, I don't know, code formatter or prettier or whatever you've called it.
Java execute. In JS. Oh, that'd be annoying.
What's the specific library? Is there any details or docs on there? GitHub or README?
Yeah, there probably is. So
That's a gist to something.
that's a gist.
Yeah, how to reapply prettify print? Pretty print? Is that the one or no?
Yeah, it's a Google. I think it's a Google pretty. Google
I was
code.
gonna say, find that library first.
Usage.
Specify. What's this? How do I put line numbers?
Add
Oh,
event
okay.
listener.
It says on
Pretty
load.
print. Right.
pr.prettyprint. Yeah, that's it.
So that's
Do
it.
that on your div, I guess. Whatever element that is. But which element? I think you need to give it an element.
Oh, okay. So yeah, let's go back to that again. So what was that? So add event listener to. That's just on the document, isn't it? Load.
Yeah, it's on the document load, and then you call in PR pretty print, which I assume is then looking for certain CSS classes on the page.
And wrap it in a function. Okay.
So can you
Let's
check
just try it.
check the HTML as well, that you haven't accidentally modified the CSS class that it's looking for, or anything like that?
Oh yeah, you did.
If
no,
you
in
don't,
HTML should be fine. Yeah.
should be fine, but just make sure it's definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
But there's a class there still on it. Yep.
So then you
Yeah,
should be
still
able to
got the
run.
class. Oh, it's got pretty printed. I need to remove the class. It's got pretty printed already.
So it
I need
probably
to
knows that
remove
it's probably
Oh.
consumed it already, or done it, or passed it.
Yeah, so that's what you set when it's. Yeah, so I need to ignore that. I need to take that off. So.
I think
Oh,
you
yeah.
can just do.
I just
Yeah,
put it in
pretty
the voice
print.
chat notes, removing the class for pre-print.
Yeah, but you've sent me jQuery.
Ah.
I'm trying to be pure here. So where is it? There, yeah. Right. So do PSW dot
I
controls
don't think you need to remove it. Oh yeah, you do. Okay, never mind.
dot class list dot remove, and then it's. I'll do, yeah, pretty printed like what Dean sent. Thanks, Dean.
Yeah, very
And
good.
then I'll call that. And then magic will
Does
happen.
it magically know what PR is?
It might do. Yeah, I think it might be a global thing once it's been.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Nice.
Beauty.
Thing of beauty. Yay.
Sweet.
Now we need to hook it into Clearwell packages. That's pretty good. So really, or then I just update
just-
output. I can call that from all these events, can't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So where did I do it on here? So I did, yeah, just update output. So it was just literally that.
Yeah.
Nice.
all
You can just call it in all of your event listeners that you've set up.
So not on search. Right, so let's start again. So we've got clear packages. So we just want to do it there.
You've
Let's
got a
try
reset button there as well.
Yeah, reset starts again, doesn't it? And what do I do on that? Oh no, that. Yeah, we want it there.
You should start with an empty one.
I assume that resets all
Yeah,
your
that's good.
form controls or something.
Yeah, that's the options one. And then filter packages is the search one. We don't want it there. Use unattended install. We do want it there.
Toggle. So in your toggle methods of toggle include starter kit controls.
What's the best way? Would you put it inside these, or
I
would you
would.
just do it separately? Would you have a function and then call that and then call update? Is that clearer?
Maybe it depends.
So I'm just
so you could you can put it in a function then. Yeah, I suppose that's a bit more readable based on everything else you've done.
Yeah.
Oh, getting ahead of ourselves. Let's see if that works. So the reset and the clear packages.
Yeah.
The reset one would be cool to see because it's not on the same page. I just wondered. Let's generate script like this. So that does that, and then if we reset, it's done it.
Sweet.
Because reset doesn't do a page load or anything, and it's done it by Ajax. Wow, that is cool.
Very nice.
Just do the same treatment on the others. Might just. It wasn't too hard to Ajaxify it all, was it?
No.
So that's my toggles. I might cheat and just paste that in. Don't know if that was any quicker.
You just got one left for the solution file for your toggle.
All right. Let's see if the whole thing works. Oh no, we haven't updated the query string. Maybe that's for another day, but this is still a result. So start over, reloads the page. Just a cheaty way of starting over. Options. Let's change the solution name to Bob. Oh, did I put that in on all of them? Have I done a change event? I don't think I've done a change event on the text. I don't think there was any need for a change event on this yet.
Oh yeah, you need to add some events. Yeah.
But I think doing that should because there's no solution file there now. But if I do that,
maybe that's gonna be interesting because you're gonna call the API for each button press.
Yeah.
When I have it on a like 10 millisecond delay or something.
Yeah, what do you call that?
Yeah.
It begins with P, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not throttling. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. Just waits till you stop typing, doesn't it, for 300 milliseconds or something.
Yeah.
Can't remember the words, but no, I think that's a result.
Nice.
Maybe on here we just do update. Maybe just have an update button rather than hooking into these all the time. We just do update here, or do you think we should have it Ajaxified? On everything. Leave it on all of them, shall we?
I think if you could see the result change in front of you, then it's nice to have.
Yeah, I was gonna say if the code block was on the same page or the same tab, then it's more beneficial as you kind of fiddle around with options. You can kind of say, okay, I fiddle with this option, and then this happens to the script.
Maybe
Which might be a nicer UI, but you're losing out. Your vertical screen size, and you're already kind of 3/4 of that full. So
I guess what you could do is make that script that gets returned a template, so you have areas where you can start replacing while you're typing. Instead of having to ask the API for every character that you type. Hey, fix it.
I think as long as you hook into the correct JavaScript event, so I think it's on change or on blur, so when you take your focus away from the text box, it'll then do the request rather than on like key down. You don't want to do it on key down, otherwise that will hammer the API.
Yeah, I think change does it after the blur, doesn't it?
Yeah, for checkboxes and things like that. Not
only when you click out of it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but if you change the tab, you click out of it. Anyway,
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
What would be cool, Paul, if you made it a membership thing and you can save all your favourite configs?
Yeah, I have thought about that as well. You could, in the meantime,
or local storage.
Yeah,
Well,
you could
put it in a temp
create
folder,
bookmarks.
Carl. Sorry.
Couldn't you though? You could just
anyone's
create. Oh yeah, the temp
Nice
folder.
one.
Bad joke. Inside joke.
But for now, you could just do bookmarks. In the meantime, you could just create yourself a bookmark for any of these.
Yep.
That's a good shout, yeah.
But you could update the. I don't know how long we've got left. Might be doable in the 5 minutes. You could the location history. So that's your updating the.
Okay, yeah. So
one other thing as well, if you felt like it, I've sent a PR through for a bit of self-documenting for your API testing. And it's using a Visual Studio Code plugin called REST Client, which means that you wouldn't need to use full Visual Studio. You could basically open the entire thing in VS Code, run the site in VS Code, and the REST client lets you call into your API to just look at the responses directly, so you can see actually what's happening.
Cool.
It's something that I use. I know to use Postman. I like Postman. It's fantastic, but it's a separate tool, and not necessarily everyone has Postman.
Yeah.
But the REST client is a really nice way of self-documenting API calls, and you can I just thought it'd be a cool thing to share, so I sent you a PR for it.
Oh, thanks, mate. First PR. So, sorry. What did you have, Warren?
I can never remember if it's document.location, but I don't know if you update that does a reload. I can never remember if it's document.location or if it's document.history, and then you push something into the history to modify the browser.
Oh, it's search, isn't it?
Yes, that seems right. And then that's all the query string parameters.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how you're getting those currently.
So currently I just read it from on the controller. So it's not on that one, is it? I don't know yet. Oh yeah, load model from query string. That's it. Interface. So yeah, I get them and I set some defaults and things like that at the moment.
Okay,
I think I probably can't rush it in 5 minutes. I think.
No, I've just there's a bit more involved then. But hey ho.
Yeah, I think that I might just Control Z that. I might push this up to the branch, but I don't think push it to the site yet because it won't save them unless you generate. It won't, because it won't come back in the query string otherwise. Maybe that should be it. Maybe no. Yeah, maybe we'll just work out so you can update them, and then if you want to keep it, you just have a save button or something, and then it. No, I don't know. It'd be better to do it in the jQuery in the JavaScript. What's this, Dean? Current URL in browser. Yeah, href.
You can just grab the part after the
Yeah, it's a search, isn't it?
The domain as well, if you want.
Yeah, search string is that, and then we just need to work with that to update it, and in the same way that the server side does.
Yeah, I assume you just need to serialize all your form controls in the same way that your like your controller expects it to be.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's been a success anyway.
Yeah, very nice, Paul.
Cool. Thanks for taking us on our little
It's
journey
awesome,
there.
Paul.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I'll push this up. So,
Maybe do it in a branch, Paul, so you can still update.
oh yeah. I added JavaScript. What is it? Ajaxify. It's not Ajaxify. Well, oh well.
Sure. It's a word.
That'll do it.
It is now. Certainly is now.
What was that? Sorry, Emma.
It is a word now. Ajaxify.
That's what the branch is being called. Nice one.
What's the repo again, Paul? Just so that if anyone's watching this, that they can find it again.
If you want to have a look, it's prjsteel and then package -script -writer, and the branch that we were on is there.
Perfect.
And I will get around to doing a README. But you can always do a PR if you fancy it. Anyone who wants to add to the README?
I put some notes in the README as well for the testing. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you, mate.
No worries.
All right. See everyone later.
Bye, Pete.
Thanks, Paul.
Bye.
Yeah, nice one, Paul.
Yo.
Bye bye.